life when everything changes. It's not when you buy a planner. It's not when you get motivated. And it's not when you announce your goals. The moment that you get tired of hearing yourself talk, making the same excuses over and over and over again, it's the moment you realize you sound the exact same every single week. And you're saying the same statements, you're saying the same goals, you're saying the same things to the same people. And you also start to notice how less and less people start to believe you. Less and less people start cheering you on. Because every week is, today is the day, today is the day. But it's never, hey, it's finally done, I finally did it. It's not, this is the results that I have from all that work. The moment that you decide, when you stop making those excuses and just start executing, is when you tell yourself, I don't need another reason. I don't need another reason to tell myself that this isn't going to work. I don't need another reason to tell myself why I don't have enough time. I don't need another reason as to why everything is against me. I don't want to have any more reasons. I just want to start executing. I just want to get this done. And that is the shift that happens. And most people never reach it. Isn't that sad? Most people never reach to that point. And why don't they reach to that point? Because they're not done making excuses. They're not done with they don't feel satisfied by the amount of excuses that they're giving. They don't feel satisfied with the amount of avoidance that they are doing. They just haven't completed that cycle. They haven't felt just so tired in their own lives, so tired of being in that same cycle to want to get out of it. It's like being in a toxic relationship. You can only go back to your toxic relationship after so many times before you finally get tired of it, before you're finally like, I want to break through out of this and I don't ever want to come back to it. It's a cycle that happens and most people just haven't reached it. And if you're in that moment right now where you're just like, I'm done, I'm through, then great for you, because today we can start talking about the transformation that you need in order to achieve your goals for 2026. So excuses are just execution avoidance. Avoiding in general is the action of keeping away from something, whether it's from danger or just some uncomfortable situation that you just don't want to be around. You avoid it. Whether it's avoid talking to someone, whether it's avoid having that big meeting, or avoiding going to the dentist, or avoiding going to that doctor's appointment, right? Or even just avoiding results. Sometimes results can be scary. And execution is putting something into effect. It's putting something into motion. So when you make excuses, all you're doing is that you're putting that plan, that excuse of, I just don't have the time, I don't have the energy, I'm gonna wait until tomorrow, the weather is bad, I feel sick, blah, blah, blah. When you make up those excuses, what you're doing is that you're putting that plan of, I don't have the time, I don't have the energy, into effect, and you're prioritizing your excuses over your goals. So it's not that you lack the potential, because everybody has the potential to become whoever they want to be. And it's not a lack of skill. Maybe it's a lack of skill, but it's not a lack of potential, because anyone can turn into whoever they want to be at any point of their lives, if that's what they choose to be. However, you lack the ability to withstand disturbances of not having a million people around you to help you clean your home, do your laundry, take care of the kids. Disturbances of the weather. Sometimes the weather can get in the way of things. disturbances of having to go into work and not having that morning to yourself to be able to work on the things that you want to work on. Sometimes we just lack that resistance. We lack that resilience to withstand all of these disturbances, whatever disturbance that comes your way. So like I said, whether it's your job, the weather, your kids, your family, your friends, your finances, whatever is blocking you from getting to the other side, you're choosing to allow those excuses to become the plan, rather than how am I going to execute and achieve this goal as your plan. Your excuses become almost this comfort blanket, this thing that you tell yourself because you think you are doing a good service by waiting until tomorrow, or until you feel better, or until you have more time. Your execution begins when comfort stops being your priority. Until you get tired of what is comfortable right now, and comfortable being the job that you're at, the relationship that you're in, the way that your family speaks to you, the grades that you get at school, or the content that you're not posting, or the content that you are posting. Whenever comfort stops being a priority is when execution can begin. So we're going to talk all about that in today's video, and how we can get through with stopping these excuses and how to start executing. But if you guys are new here, don't forget to subscribe and like, so I know to make more videos just like this one. Please feel free to sign up for my newsletter down below. So if you want to get more tips, bite-sized tips is what I call it, it just hacks on executing and procrastination and discipline. If you're just interested in all of that stuff, then feel free to sign up for my newsletter down below. It is free. You will only get emails from me once a week. I'm not going to bombard you with like any more than just that. And like I said, it's just bite-sized tips on how to be more disciplined and to stop making excuses in 2026, because this is the year of the horse. We are putting ourselves into action and not holding back. So let's go ahead and get started with the first point of today's video. So number one, excuses feel smart, but they're self-protection. So excuses are sophisticated fears. I'm too busy. It's not the right time. I need to learn more first. I'll start Monday. These aren't laziness. They're protection from discomfort. Discomfort of looking stupid, failing publicly, being inconsistent, and not being perfect. When we have these types of discomfort, it's not because we ultimately think this way of ourselves. You know, we don't actually want to believe that we are stupid, or that we are gonna fail publicly, or that we are an inconsistent person, or that we're just not perfect. We don't technically believe all of this, but what we do feel is the judgment of others. And what I've noticed is that we get scared of the judgment of others, of what others are going to say about us. Because nothing is more embarrassing than failing in front of your high school friends. Nothing is more embarrassing when you're putting yourself out there and no one buys any of your products. It's happened to me before. Nothing is more embarrassing than trying out something and it not working and you looking stupid in front of your family members. It's the judgment from others that kind of keep us in a box. But what I tend to learn is that the people who are most successful are the ones willing to put themselves into those type of situations, into those type of scenarios. The ones who kind of cage themselves in with the crowd, and the ones who never amount to anything more than what is within their 4-block radius, they're going to stay there, and they're going to stay where they are most comfortable with. I used to talk to this friend all the time about this block radius. where people, and this is a whole different conversation for another day, but people who have grown up in poverty have obviously this, some of them have this poverty mindset where they don't think that there's more outside than what they have been shown within their mile block radius. All they've known is other people who are suffering, other people who have made the same type of excuses of, oh, I have to work, or this economy is not good, or I just have to work so much and I get paid so little. They never figure out how to get ahead of them. They don't ever figure out how to get ahead. They never figure out how to get out of the ghetto. They never figure out how to get out of the poverty because they grew up with this poverty mindset. And those are the type of people who are going to be judging you. The ones who are stuck with their mindset, stuck with their ideas, stuck with their opinions. And they're going to want to force all that they've known onto you because they just don't know how to level up themselves without looking in the mirror and saying, I am at fault here. Most of those people cannot take accountability for their own actions. They would much rather point the finger at everyone else and continue to victimize themselves. And this is not to look down upon them, but it is to kind of reflect and think, whose opinion am I taking currently? Whose opinion am I valuing here? Because if I'm letting them have all this power in the world or all this power over me, then I'm scared to be judged, to not go after my goals. I have to sit and reflect, like, what have they done in their life? Where are they going in life? What are they doing? Are they going after the life that I choose to live? And if they're not, then why am I listening to them? Why does their opinion even matter in the first place? They're not the CEOs of any businesses, from what I know. They're not, the most best shape ever. They're not living the life that I've always dreamed of living. If they don't have what I want, then their opinions don't matter. So to allow these people to kind of shelter you into a box, so then you start making those same excuses. You also start to become one of them. And when you start seeing someone else who is the same age as you and started off the same way that you did, but you see them a couple years later be exactly where you wish you could be, you will resent it for the rest of your life, and the more you're going to end up hating that person. So I will much rather choose to feel that discomfort than to live a life of being sheltered, living a life of regret, living a life of what ifs, living a life of I'm too scared to play. Because just imagine a basketball player was too scared to play, so then they would rather sit on the sidelines because they feared that if they didn't make every single shot into the basket, that they were going to get judged for looking stupid. So they would just rather sit in the sidelines and allow their team players their play, and they end up winning. That basketball player is going to feel horrible about himself because he didn't take the chance to go out and play. He didn't take the chance and be like, is this going to happen? Like, I want to be a part of that victory too, but instead I was too scared, so I sat on the sidelines just like everybody else. I should have played, and I would have had a really fun time. And this is what we do with our goals. We would much rather watch from the sideline and wait until it's safe enough to play that you will win 10 out of 10 times. And that's not what real life is. You can't win every single time. Sometimes you win and sometimes you learn. And that's just it. So instead of focusing on what couldn't happen, instead of focusing on the failing aspect of the looking stupid aspect, let's start looking at the gaining experience. What can we learn this time that by the next time we can get even further ahead? So your brain would would much rather protect your ego than build your future. The moment that you stop believing every excuse that you think, execution can begin. So, number 2, the real identity shift. Your shift in identity of becoming the person that you want to be starts when you stop asking yourself, do I do I feel like doing this, or is this who I said I was becoming? That's identity-based execution. You don't negotiate with the gym. You don't negotiate with posting. You don't negotiate with studying. Those are your non-negotiables. Those are the things that you should prioritize over anything else. Being able to push towards your future goals and not run away from them. Those are the tasks that no matter what happens in your day, it must be done. If it means waking up a little bit earlier or staying up a little later, these are things that are going to change your life for the better if you were to prioritize it and make it your whole personality. Like I said, don't let anyone who is nowhere near where you want to be judge you for where you are going. Because why are you going to let someone who is overweight judge you for wanting to go to the gym 6 times a week? Why are you letting someone who works a dead-end job keep you from posting about your business online? Or why are you letting someone who didn't even graduate high school keep you from achieving a better education? Don't let the people who are under you hold all the power, all because they judged you for it. So the real identity shift happens when you stop allowing someone else to hold the power, even your own excuses. So not even from the people who are judging you, but also from the brain, your own brain that wants to just protect that ego. The identity shift happens when you don't allow these excuses to have a power over you, or the people who are under you have the power over you. Because everyone is going to love to judge those who are making their lives better, because they would much rather keep you in the same, like misery loves company. They would love to keep you miserable with them because they can't stand the fact that they don't have the capabilities that you do to go after your own goals. And quite frankly, they just don't have the identity shift that you are having. And it sucks for them, but it doesn't suck for you. And that doesn't mean that you need to stay behind just because they feel behind. If you guys have liked this video so far, don't forget to subscribe and like, and also sign up for my newsletter that will be going out, start going out next week on Thursdays. So let's go ahead and get to the last portion of this video, which is execution is boring, and that's why most people quit. Nobody talks about this. Nobody talks about this. Execution is repetitive, unsexy, quiet, and unapplauded for. It's not dramatic, it's not emotional, it's not viral. It's doing the same thing again and again and again. When you eat the same thing every single day, it will get super boring. But if you eat the same thing every single day and it's helping you get the body of your dreams, it might be a little worth your trade. Most people quit or change up their routine right before it gets good. Right before they actually take their business to the next level, or right before they're about to lose all that weight. They don't hold on long enough because things aren't as exciting as they once were when they first started going after this goal. But doing hard work isn't meant to be fun. It's meant to be rewarding. So fun is being able to enjoy something, like a roller coaster or your favorite food. Rewarding or reward is this feeling of satisfaction. Do you think a surgeon has fun performing a 6-hour procedure on a patient? I wouldn't think so. It's a lot of high stakes. It's a very anxiety-inducing scenario. There's a lot of hard work that gets put into making sure that this person stays alive. So it's not about making everything fun and amusing and I mean, we can do things that can help us have fun. Like, I'm pretty sure they put on, I think surgeons put on music so that they're not just like so stuck. But at the same time, doing this work for 6 hours, it's not fun. But do you know what it is? It's rewarding. Almost every single surgeon always says, it is so rewarding to see all the hard work that I did pay off when that person gets to go on and live a better life because of it. It brings back satisfaction to that surgeon. Everything that requires hard work is not always going to be fun, but what it is, it's going to be rewarding. There's going to be some sort of satisfaction when all that input results in an amazing output. You think teachers have fun educating kids all day long? Probably not. There's probably days that they have a great time, and then there's days where they really hate it. But whenever they see their kids grow up and become the person that they've always dreamed of becoming, all that education and hard work that they put in to that student and all the lessons that they've learned, and it results to this kid becoming a lawyer or a doctor, it is so rewarding. Or for me, I work as a slip-up. I put in a lot of hours trying to teach these kids how to talk, how to communicate, and some days are really fun and some days are really hard. But once I see that all my hard work of trying to teach this kid and trying to put all these strategies, doing all these strategies, like hurting my brain trying to figure out like what can I do to get this kid to understand what I want them to do. And then when they finally do it, when they finally communicate, or when they finally understand, then it's like, oh my god, all of this hard work finally paid off. I was able to break through. Like, hard work is not meant to be fun. It is meant to be rewarding, and you're supposed to feel satisfied. So the next time you feel like you're quitting on your goals, remind yourself, this isn't meant to be fun, it's meant to be rewarding. When you finally make your first dollar after spending hours on marketing your business, or when you finally get your first A after spending so much time studying, or when you finally get sent PR by your favorite brand after spending countless of days editing and uploading your content, it feels so rewarding being able to put that amount of work that you have to receive this type of feedback, to receive this type of output. So, if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, and please like, and don't forget to sign up for my newsletter that is down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Bye!